Remember Bob Heinbaugh?
Yes, yes. That's Westlake's sidekick. He bowled with Dick Westlake for years and years and years. Matter of fact, oh boy, Bob Heinbaugh. This guy was probably close to 70. I don't know. He bowled into his 70s, I think. This guy's still carrying 148, 150. He carried 52 or something one year. A couple years he carried over 150. This guy's 70 years old. This guy, he was a super ball player for the University of Maryland. Back when I had the 655 set, when I was 21 years old, there was a book. I might have a copy of it somewhere around here. I don't know where. It's probably buried in my garage if I do. The book is entitled Sports in the Nation's Capital. And in that book is Bob Heinbaugh as a baseball player, me as the 655 kid, and Sue Brown, Sue Marchand.
Oh.
She was that good, and we were like, I guess, notable sports figures in nation's capital or something. Just maybe we managed to do some pretty good things. The 655 was the first 600 set, and so I made the book. Had her picture in there, big picture, and told about the big night, 655 night, and Sue Marchand had told either. I don't know if it had her in Sue Brown or Sue Marchand. But she's been married to Bob for a long time, so it might have been under Marchand. And then Bob Heinbaugh was in that book, and he was in a baseball uniform for the University of Maryland. He evidently was a stud baseball player, but it probably would have been back in the 60s or 50s or 60s, I guess. So he's probably been passed away for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
Probably so. He would have been probably 90 by now, so. Probably played baseball back in the 50s, or I'm guessing, or the 40s or 50s somewhere. But he was evidently a noteworthy player for the University of Maryland. And he was in that book, Sports in the Nation's Capital, by Robert Ainsworth was the guy that wrote the book, I think. Robert Ainsworth, I think. So you might be able to Google that and pull it up somehow. I don't know. Yeah. I'm so done with the computer, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. But it was by Robert Ainsworth. So Sports in the Nation's Capital is the name of the book. And his name and that name, maybe it would come up on the computer. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But you'd see something on Heinbaugh, a little, paragraph or page on him and me and Sue, and all different pages in the book. They weren't like back to back to back, but he turned out to be. He didn't like losing. He was a real competitor, man. He was tough. He was a tough bowler, and then Westlake, Dick Westlake. I swear, I've told this many times. He was a few years ahead of me. He's probably 70 couple now, Westlake. But this guy was one of the best anchor bowlers I ever saw. I'm telling you, you need a mark. You wanted Westlake down there. Westlake, he was just he was a tit man. He was tough in the tent. TIT, tough in the tent. He really was. He really was. And and I think he missed a lot of events and tournaments because he was a postman. He worked a lot of weekends, so maybe that didn't that didn't enable him to bowl in as many events as some of the other guys did. But he sure was tough. Matter of fact, one time, talking about Westlake, I went down to Ralph Curry owned him and Clark Copenhagen owned a 12-lane house in Winchester, Virginia called Health Center Lanes, and they had a little 7-game open tournament. Just 12 lanes, but it was down in the hills somewhere in the mountains, and in Winchester. So I ended up I was bowling pretty good, and they felt pretty good, and I had about 900 for 6 roughly, and this was a long time ago. This was like 74 probably 73 or 4, 74, 75 at the latest. And the last game, I never had an all-mark game. The last game I run 9 in a row, and the last frame I think I left 7-8 on a bomb, I think. So I didn't get my home mark, and I won 90 or something last. Anyway, I shot 10.95 for 7. World record at the time was 11.04. And I'm leading the tournament. I got a chance to win an open tournament. I'm a young kid. I'm all psyched up. Westlake comes in on Sunday, shoots 11.04, ties the world record, and wins the tournament, and I got second. 45 years ago, it was $250 or something. It was 500 for first place. But anyway, Westlake, he was. I got running off on Westlake, but he was tough, man. Him and Heinbaugh were a tandem, and they bowled together. And Thursday majors at PG. They bowl Monday majors at Glenmont. They bowl Tuesday together in the pro league. I mean, and so Heinbaugh, he was up in years a little bit, but he's still bowling like 3 nights a week and at a high level, at a very high level. Bob Heinbaugh, yep.
Yeah, he was very impressive physique. He had
He was in good shape for
for a man 70 or so.
Yeah, and he was broad-shouldered and big boned, and he looked like he. Matter of fact, I've seen he'd run down the lane, chase Oakwood sometimes. He still looked like he had a good stride. He could still run a little bit. And
yeah.
I need a wheelchair to get down the lane now. Man. Oh man.